Oh, look. Hey, look. Colleen, good evening and welcome. Sebastian, how are you doing and welcome. Maniac Grammys, good evening and welcome. Yes, Colleen, you are the first Benson. Luna, come here. Come here. You want this? Come here. Up. She'll do anything for a cracker. The last one she drooled it all over my lap. Oh, there you go. You're such a good girl. I love you. David Peasley, good evening and welcome. Jason B26, welcome. Everybody say hello to each other. Yes, it is still snowing this way, quite a bit. See, Luna, she loves the snow. I don't. It's hard on my bones. Kentucky girl, good evening and welcome. Everybody say hello. Jason B26 is saying hello to everyone in the chat. Sebastian saying hello to everyone in the chat. Yes, it's snowing crazy here. Has been all day long. But I don't care. I got fuel. I'll stay in a warm house. Kentucky girl saying, hello, Luna. Uh-oh. A smoker with a lighter going dead. That's not a good sign. I will light a little candle. That's what I'll do. Welcome, 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 everybody. You know, I don't know if you can hear that noise in the background. That's me getting notifications, which I don't get all day long, but I get them when I'm live. Bless YouTube's little heart. There we go. My girl's laying here with me. Down the rabbit hole, good evening and welcome. I am having a great day. Thank you, Down the Rabbit Hole. Says everybody slam that like button. It's snowing here, though, down the rabbit hole. John Brooks, good evening. Well, thank you for showing the love. Appreciate you coming in. I hope everybody's staying warm and healthy. Thank you, Sebastian. Colleen says, hi, John. Well, thanks for smashing that like button. I appreciate it. It wasn't really a very cold day here down the rabbit hole, but it has been snowing all day long. And the weather says for 3 days, so it's going to be a little crazy. You know, when there's a lot of snow, it insulates the house a lot better. Hello, Food Forest. How you doing this evening? Everybody say hello. Okay, Nestle from the Philippines. Okay. Welcome. I know you're not getting snow there. Yeah, well you can come here and get all the snow that you want down the rabbit hole. Take it all. Come and get it by the truckloads. Good evening, USMC Steve. Everybody say hello to USMC Steve. I know you're having a good evening. You don't want any snow? You'll be here in New Jersey? Well, then you'll see some snow. A lot of snow coming on the East Coast. Yeah, Kentucky girl, this is going to be my last winter here. I guarantee. Luna, on the other hand, she loves the snow. You kick the snow and she goes after it. But Babasser, good evening and welcome. Everybody say hello to Babasser. Oh, you had snow in September? Ouch. Luna, Babasser said hello. Oh, yes, give him that beautiful face. Gosh, everybody should have a Luna. You can't wait for the first snowfall. You know, I used to feel that way about 25 years ago. Crash 8090, good evening and welcome. Everybody say hello. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Oh, your cat bites, but you give him a lion cut. David Peasley says, I hate the snow. Yeah. Selling Christmas trees must be fun, though. They sell a lot of them here in Maine. That's one way that they can get a tax break. Minnesota had its first snowfall this week. It don't snow there, not like it used to. Well, it does here. Rural Police Talk. Good evening and welcome, my friend. How you doing, Big John? Everybody say hello to Real Police Talk. Very interesting stories if you want to check out his channel. Crash, Kentucky Girl wants to know if you're following her. Down the Rabbit Hole says, hey there, Real Police Talk. I think this is the first time uh, you might have that you've met in the chat in months. You might have talked to him on his other channel, which Real Police Talk. Why don't you put that up there if you would, please? Your other channel, which is a really good channel, wine and coffee tasting. Tracy's Halls, how are you doing this evening? Everybody say hello. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Yes, he does do some great wine reviews. You can tell it shows in his face that he really loves to do that. And you should love what you do. There you go. It's Hillbilly Select Reviews. Check that out, everybody. Great wine reviews and coffee reviews. Kentucky Girl says, hey, Real Police. Oh, you'll have wine by Christmas that you bottle. That's cool. There is an art to that. Just, I told you, John, and on one of your reviews there. I used to roast my own until the the green coffee bean price went skyrocketing because checking online for roasters and stuff, the cheapest one they want it was I think $5,000 for the cheapest roaster, and you could do 2 pounds. So I made one for my oven with a grill rotisserie, and I could do up to 5 pounds in that. You got to roast that at 500 degrees, and right around the 10-minute mark, you'll get what's called the first crack. And then you got to listen real close for the second one. And then after that, you got seconds between the blonde coffee and the medium coffee, and then what I call the espresso coffee, which is really dark. Cemetery 76, good evening and hello. Wood Forest, thank you for coming. I hope you have a good evening. Cemetery 76, everybody say hello. Colleen says, crash. It is very easy to burn. Like I said, down the rabbit hole, you got seconds, between that. I mean, if you can hear it pop, it sounds just like popcorn. And after that, I mean, you don't have to throw none of it away. It makes excellent espresso. But that's what when I, you didn't, it makes the beans a lot lighter. There's hardly anything left in it, but it's really strong. Like I said, makes a good espresso. But when you first start doing it, it's cool to listen to that because you read about it and then you actually find out that yes, it does. Sounds just like popcorn popping. And I just bought the Colombian beans, which I thought was a lot better coffee. And contrary to what you might think, brewing coffee smells wonderful, but roasting coffee does not. It smells like hay cooking. And I can tell you right off that unless unless you're bagging it or roasting it yourself, you're really not getting fresh coffee, especially in a can that's vacuum sealed, because coffee for a 24-hour period gives off a gas. And I know this because I vacuum sealed some, and the next morning they all look like big balloons. You don't drink coffee? I love coffee. I live on coffee. I do love my coffee. I drink a pot during the day, but I need to check out the coffee situation again. There's a place. Oh, I forget where they're at. It's called Coffee Bean Direct. You can order 50-pound bags of coffee, which comes in a nice burlap sack. Otherwise, it's quite expensive. Hello, Sarah Jane's Journey. Costa Rica. Yeah, I've never had Costa Rican beans. Everybody say hello to Sarah Jane's Journey. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I mean, that website, the Coffee Bean Direct, they tell you what type of coffee bean it is and how it tastes and how strong it is. But I haven't tried any other than the Colombian. Most coffees are blended with. Well, they're blended like some whiskeys. They blend all the different things to make different beans to make a good tasting coffee, but cheaper. Sarah Jane's Journey is saying hello to everyone. I am having a wonderful day. Like I said, it's snowing like crazy, and it snowed all day long. Tracy says hello, Sarah Jane, and I guess it's supposed to snow. Let me check again because it can change hour by hour. But the last time I checked, nope, it's just supposed to snow tomorrow. Oh, and then next Monday it's supposed to snow for 4 days in a row, starting on Monday. Tracy Saul says hello, Sarah Jane. Kentucky Girl says hello, Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane says, hey, Tracy, Crash, and Kentucky Girl. With Crash 8090, thank you so much for stopping in, man. Enjoy that spaghetti. That sounds good. Save me a plate. You're in Maine, you said, Sarah Jane? Or is that Michigan? If you're in Maine, you're getting the snow. Yeah, Crash. Everybody wants some of that spaghetti. Michigan, okay. Aren't they getting snow there, Sarah Jane? A lot of the Northeast is. Geez, one day, a couple weeks ago, they had snow in Louisiana. No, I'm not in Michigan. I live in Maine. We get all kinds of snow here. Down the rabbit hole, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Yeah, I used to live in Wisconsin, Sarah Jane, so I know what the weather's like that way too. But believe it or not, the weather here gets colder and more snow than in Wisconsin because of where it's at. I mean, we sit right at, well, like Michigan, right at the bottom of Canada, just up a little higher. Yeah, last year we had 2 weeks of 60 below zero weather, which drove my landlord crazy. He had about 20 units where the pipes froze and water went everywhere. Diamond, good evening. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Everybody say hello. Yeah, it is crazy. When it's that cold, it's hard for anything to move. Even my dog, she'd go outside and she didn't stay out there very long. She did her business and wanted to come right back in, and weren't none of this playtime for her. I mean, you could actually throw hot water up in the air and it would turn into a cloud. Has to be pretty cold for it to do that. Excuse me a second. I have to go get me a lighter. There, back. Sorry about that. But you know, someone that smokes can't be with a dead lighter. Sarah Jane, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful evening. That wasn't a good one. Oh, I don't want to have to go to the store tonight. Really don't want to. But I may have to. That blue flag behind me is a flag from that represents my old unit, the 82nd Airborne. It's got one side here with the wings on it, and then the other side with the wings and a helicopter. Scuzz Twitty, good evening. Well, Scuzz Twitty, you tell Steve I said thank you, man. If he's not listening right now, if you are, Steve, thank you. Steve's a good man. And a veteran. Glad you could make it. Everybody say hello to Scuzz Twitty. Oh, you're very welcome. It was my honor. Went in April Fool's Day, 1975. Your uncle was a vet too? Well, bless his heart. I have much respect for all veterans and their families. Can never forget about them either, because they go through just as much by that person being away. Was in the Marines. Yeah, bless his heart. Wow, served in 3 wars. Yes, rest in peace. War is a terrible thing, but we do that. Yes, you can call me Gramps. That's cool. But he calls me Grandpa usually, but Gramps is cool. Ability Mom of 2, good evening and hello. Haha, really? Tracy's Halls. Oh, I don't know if I can get my sleeve up far enough. Yes, I can. Right there's my wings. You tell him I said thank you very much for serving. Yes, and thank you. I know it was hard on your family. Yeah, a lot of people that were airborne like to put that tattoo on there. Yes, Ability Mom. Welcome, Leah. Everybody say hello to Ability Mom. Thank you, Scuzz. Scuzz Twitty. I like that. I like that name, man. Again, it was my honor. Anybody that served in here, thank you. And if your relatives did, thank them. And if they passed on, rest their souls. It was an experience, quite an experience. It wasn't a good time to be in the military when I was in. Kind of like it was a couple years back where everybody hated him. You know, it's too bad that we've lost the taste for killing each other, but we haven't stopped doing it, which is really sad. We're the smartest creature on earth, you know. I'm doing good, Leah. So good that I think I'm supposed to do something here tonight, Leah. Oh, Dill pickles. And I can tell you, I know you don't like the taste, Leah, but I can tell you that pickle juice is one of the best things for you because of the vinegar in it. Oh, geez. Now, if you want to be really technical, wow, that's. Do you think that's You think that's 3 shots? How about one big gulp? What I want to do, seeing as how you're in here, Leah, I want to challenge Devin to this because he's a nice young man, and I see him in your videos all the time, and I know he can do the pickle juice. And the other one, if she's still here, is Tess from Steve and Tess Vlogs. Oh, you're listening, Steve. You need to tell Tess 3 shots for cancer awareness. Salute. Mmm. Ah, that was wonderful. Just wonderful. Let me tell you about a little secret about Grandpa growing up. My parents were from German descent, so almost everything was pickled. Ate a lot of sauerkraut. Yes, pickle juice is very good for you. Oh, and I love sauerkraut. That is the best thing to put on a hot dog. But unlike the sauerkraut in the store, there is one secret to make the the tartness of sauerkraut go away a little bit. Is you finally grate some rented lips. You finally grate some potato into it while you're cooking it, and it'll give it a little creaminess and make it a little less tart. Oh yeah, sauerkraut, sausage, and mashed potatoes. You got it there. That's a meal for champs. Hello, Maureen. Maureen, Michelle. Good evening, and everybody say hello. I hope you're having a great evening. I just drank a glass of pickle juice for cancer awareness, and I picked Devin of Ability Moms Vlogs to do the same challenge, and Sweet Tess from Steve and Tess, if she's up for it. And it is for cancer awareness. I know almost everybody out there has been touched by that in one way or another, by someone that they know and care about. It sucks. It's for a good cause, and I would have drank pickle juice just because, anyways. It did look like pee in a glass, just like Mountain Dew without the bubbles. All right, Devin. I haven't heard Tess yet. She must still be live streaming. Good evening, Rosanna. How are you doing this evening? Yes, we got snow, and we're still getting it. No, there's one of those recipes on YouTube where people take a shot of vinegar and they put a teaspoon of cumin in it, which is also supposed to be it's a cleansing thing. You know, vinegar has been one of those things like salt for hundreds of years that people used, to preserve food, and it is very healthy for you. But straight up vinegar, no. Pickle juice, it's vinegar, but it's got water in it and dill. My parents used to do these too. And one of the excuse me, like I said, they put dill in it. Pickled eggs are wonderful. You are testing? What are you testing? Test. Pickled eggs are wonderful. No, one thing about a pickle is myself, I think after you put them in a jar and you let them age for about 6 months, they're much better. They're not as crisp, but they have a lot more flavor. Turmeric, yes, Rosanna, it is. There's a lot of spices. One for just vinegar, yeah. Vinegar is a wonderful thing. I mean, I remember growing up, there was always a couple of gallons of vinegar. Just listening, she types too fast. Yeah, eggs don't agree with people a lot, anyways. Kentucky girl. I know they don't agree with Luna. Well, I make scrambled eggs with cheese, and she's right there. But they don't agree with her after a couple hours. And it'll turn my stomach around a little bit, but in a good sort of way. Munching and chatting. Good evening, Annie. How are you doing? And welcome, Luna. You want to? Hey, Annie. This is her favorite. Animal crackers. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on over. You're not even going to come over here for an animal cracker? Come on. Come. Oh yeah. Come on. Hey, come. Well, we'll just have to. Okay. Hey. There. Oh, you want that? Oh, such a good girl. She has to move away so she can eat it. She's she's funny about things like that. We go to places where someone will give her a biscuit up at Tractor Supply. They do, and she will take it from their hand, but she'll put it on the floor, and then I have to pick it up to hand it to her before she'll eat it. No, it's like she's asking me if it's okay to do. Luna, you want this one? Come here. Come on. Come on up. Come on. Oh, good girl. It's not putting you out that much. Can I have a kiss? Oh, hey. Thank you, sweetheart. You're so sweet. I love you. She is, Annie. She's a sweetheart. Ability Mom says hi, Rosanna. Rosanna says hi, Stephen Tess. Munching and Chatting says you're just so darn cute. Yes. Yeah, she's, I don't know if it's because where she came from or what, but and I like it. She depends on me, and I depend on her. And she loves munching and chatting's dog. You know, Doobie munching and chatting's dog. He's the one that made Luna start liking boys again. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's loving the weather. Me, on the other hand, no. You got your Yorkie in New Hampshire. What do you think, Luna? You like some pickle? I don't know how crazy she is about the pickle. Me, on the other hand, me loves pickles. Yeah, one thing I haven't, I know you can get it in the little jar form and stuff. But when my parents made homemade pickles, they got fresh dill and used that. And I know it was hot water, vinegar, and dill, and I don't know what else they added to it. Salt. Yeah, you can do. I might do some quart jars of pickled eggs that way. Oh, you're very welcome, Ability Mom. Anytime that you can do something, especially for cancer. I mean, look at how many years that they've been trying to find a cure for that. And there's a lot of bad things out there: cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's. I think a lot of it is because, and I do it myself. We're all about buying things like this, and go figure. You read the ingredients on this pickles, and there's a whole bunch of things in there that don't need to be in there, especially when you're using salt and vinegar, two of the best things in the world to preserve something. Yes, Rosanna, it's every food that we eat. If you buy it in a store, unless it's hamburger or even the chickens, the things they feed the chickens, unreal. But yeah, anything you buy in the store that's boxed, and I like a lot of things, like, oh, this zebra cake right here, which I love them. Wow, that whole part right there is the ingredients. Now, if I made that at home, there would be baking powder and flour and eggs and water. Yeah, it is ability, Mom. I like to make my own homemade macaroni and cheese, but when it's all said and done, it's cheaper to buy a Velveeta or in a box. Come on, Luna. Want another animal cracker? Uh, come here. Come here. Come on. You're spoiled. I love you though. No, I'd like to have the means to supply all my own food. I should can more. I have a vacuum sealer with a hose and a thing to put over a wide mouth quart jar where you can suck all the air right out of it, and you can take part of that process of the canning away. No, if you can't say it, it's not good for you. And a lot of things on there. It is crazy because the cheaper things uh, have all the additives and stuff, and even some of the ones that don't have the additive that are cheaper aren't really good for you. You know, 'cause I love pasta. Man, don't I love pasta? But pasta is one of the worst things to eat and you know, let me say in excess. You know, there a lot of things aren't really bad for you unless you eat them all the time. But I love me some pasta, and I used to love me some sausage. But after watching a bunch of YouTubers, yes, moderation is the key. Watching YouTubers with pet pigs, it kind of turned me off on eating an animal that's actually smarter than a dog. Well, no, I'd have to cover her ears. Not smarter than you, Luna. No, not smarter than you. Come up here with Daddy. Come on, come on, come on. There you go. Oh, you're such a good girl. You have to do everything in moderation. You know, that's like I don't know the epidemic we're having with drugs. You know, back in the '60s and '70s, people people did everything. You just didn't do it all the time. You know, you didn't do it in excess. Yeah, they have to put the preservatives in it for the shelf life. You know, they just when you know a lot of local businesses stopped doing that. You know, you didn't if you were selling locally, you didn't have to do that. Here, you need a beer. That's cool, man. I'm glad you're listening. Ah, this is such a sweet girl. Yeah, the things that they put in there, and then you know, I read my Parmesan cheese, which I love, is that they put in a substance that uh, prevents caking, cellulose fiber, and that can be pretty much anything, up to and including sawdust, unless you get the all natural. Which, geez, if you get that all natural, that doesn't cake up any more than the other stuff does. Just they don't put on there that by putting in that cellulose fiber, we make a lot more money. When I eat cheese, I like cheese. I don't want a bunch of additive stuff in there because cheese is, you know, milk at a certain level of fat in it with an enzyme and salt, and that's it. You did a lot of canning. Yeah, I went to Walmart, Rosanna. I bought one of those 5 packs of frozen bread dough, and it was in my freezer for months. And when I decided to use it a couple of weeks ago, it had gotten hard on the bottom of it, and then it didn't want to rise. I just, flour is cheap and yeast is cheap. I need to buy my own stuff for that, make my own. But there's nothing like fresh bread. And then frozen ones I bought, that has all kinds of additives in it too, which obviously didn't work. But they do that, so there doesn't down the road there's no bacteria or anything on it. Big Steve, how you doing this evening? I'm doing great, man. Hope you are. Everybody say hello to Big Steve. You baked bread last week? Cool. Yeah, I need to get yeast in a large quantity and flour. 'Cause I like making my own pizza dough. Yeah, there's nothing like uh, a fresh slice of warm bread. Rosanna's saying, "Hello, Big Steve." Luna's getting her scratching that she gets every time she gets down. There you go, girl. Big Steve says hello, Rosanna. Big Steve, he was here. He's cooking, and he said he needed to get a beer. Beer does go good with a lot of food. Used to love a beer with Italian food, and of course when you barbecue, ain't nothing like having a good barbecue with an ice cold beer. There, Scuzz Twitty says, "How you hanging, Big Steve?" So, Ability Mom, when's Devin going to do that? Scuzz wants to know where his beer is. Rosanna wants to know, is Fat Boy in here? I don't know. Who are you talking about, Rosanna? I kind of resemble that remark. I'm going to have another shot of pickle juice. Off your PBR. Man, I grew up on that beer. You go into a drinking establishment uh, in Wisconsin, and that's what you got when I was young. That's what they had on tap. Pabst and Hams. And I still like a Pabst to this day. Ain't nothing like a 16-ounce can of Pabst on a hot day. Roast, roasting some beast on the barbecue. Oh yeah, and some chicken. Come here, Luna. Come on, come on, up and lay down. Up and lay down. Good girl. Oh, good girl. You in here watching like Steve told you to? I don't. I don't know. Steve, man, he probably going to get some of that straw there again tonight because Tess was on a live stream there during dinner time. You need to feed your man, Tess. No, I've seen that in the store before. I think it was called lemongrass. Oh, okay. No, I go to the one in Skowhegan, Rosanna. I don't have transportation, so I'm kind of limited on where I would go. I do like the one in Walmart in Waterville a lot better because they have like 3 times as many things and a lot bigger sales. They call the one here in town a super Walmart, but it ain't very super. And I would go out and shoot my own before I bought any meat there. Stephen Tess says, hi, Rosanna. I go to Hannaford for any of my meat. Yeah, there's been one in Skowhegan for years. When they came in, the only store that was left afterwards was Hannaford. Ames closed down and a couple other stores. Rosanna said, hey, Stephen Tess, with a big old smiley. Colleen Benson, how are you doing? Yeah, I like it. I like I said, I won't buy any meat at Walmart. They add that pink slime stuff to their hamburger. I don't know if Hannaford does it, but it doesn't taste like it. I don't like a hamburger that's chewy, you know? They're driving you crazy? Yeah. I can understand that ability. I raised 2 boys by myself. It's not an easy task at times. Wait until you have grandchildren. It's very rewarding. Scuzz says, hey to all you Americans in the chat. You don't buy meat at Walmart? No. No, and I don't buy vegetables there either. I buy them at Hannaford. Killavilla, good evening and welcome. Love you too, man. Everybody say hello to Killavilla. Well, yeah, when I'm done with this live stream, I think I'm going to have to take myself to the store and buy me a lighter. Because I can't be working with a candle all night long, you know. Yes, they still have a Shaw's in Waterville. I haven't been there in years. They do a lot of that uh, buy two, you know, and you get it for a lot cheaper, and then they double the coupons. Yes, everybody say hello to Killavilla. Roseanne says hello, Killa and Scuzz. Shaw's is a grocery store chain that they have here in Maine, along with Hannaford. There's different grocery store chains all over the U.S., like Piggly Wiggly, and was in where I grew up in Wisconsin, and they had Kroger's. They're just a couple of the bigger ones that when Walmart come into town, they didn't shut down. There was a lot of smaller ones, little mom and pop ones, where you could actually go in there and talk to somebody that you knew, and you knew you were getting fresh produce. You lived in Maine until 2010. Explore Fever, good evening and welcome. How you doing? Everybody say hello to Explore Fever. Gary L, welcome. Hope you're having a great evening. You and Explore Fever. Everybody say hello to Gary. Explore Fever said hello to everyone. Ability Mom says hi, Fever. Yeah, PBR is a good beer. Always been very smooth. I think I had a PBR before I had they just stuck a nipple on top of a bar bottle. Billy Mom says hi, Gary. Rosanna said hi, Explorer. Billy Mom says thumbs up, guys. Thank you. Rosanna said, Gary, hello. Yeah, yeah, I haven't been happy with. I used to like to buy a 6 pack of Bud Pounders. They go really good in the summertime, but I haven't drank a Bud since they sold out to United Arabs Emirates. I can't drink those big cheap ones there, the Natty Daddies or whatever they call them. I do like a good Sam Adams light. Sam Adams is a good beer, made right in Boston. And the guy that started that company, he's a hell of a guy. He come right around. Well, he used to sell it himself, take it to bars. Yeah, it is. It's very cheap, bottom of the barrel stuff. Gary L says, "High ability, mom. Got you." Yeah, Sam Adams is a good beer. I like the Sam Adams light. The other ones they're good, but a lot of them they they seem to overpower whatever. And if you're eating or something, I like a crisp light beer. I can drink a Rolling Rock. Rolling Rock's a good light beer. Billy Mom says, "Got you, Gary." Yeah, you with me. I really like a Sam Adams, but that's close to $10 for a 6 pack. And the last I checked, it was $6 or $7 for a 6 pack of 16-ounce PBRs. And you throw my refrigerator is just one or two temperatures above freezing. You only drink beer when you're eating oysters. I don't eat oysters, but beer does go good with food, with pizza, with a Bud Light. Now you should do it with a Sam Adams. Sam Adams Light it's a lot like a PBR. It's crisp and light. Little more taste than the other light beers. You drink wine instead of beer. Yeah, well, beer does fill you up. You drink milk. I drink a lot of milk too. Explore Fever. I'm a I'm a Nestle's Quickaholic. Love my Quick, and pretty much anything chocolate. Exactly, exactly, Scuzz. You only have milk in your coffee. I use half and half. I prefer light cream, but the price difference is crazy. I mean, I'll do milk in a pinch, but as much milk as I have to put in it, then I have to reheat it in the microwave because it's so cold afterwards. I'm real picky about my coffee. You have a PBR in the morning? Well, hey, if you can function on that, good for you. PBR is a good thirst quencher. Yeah, I don't I don't like weak coffee or I don't like really really strong coffee. Gary says, Rosanna, hope you're having a nice evening. Gotcha. Pizza would be a wonderful thing. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to have. I think it might have something to do with eggs, maybe an omelet. Oh, milkshake coffee is good. No, I don't have a Keurig. I have a Bun coffee maker. I like that because I put my grounds in the basket there and pour it in the top, and it's ready in probably just a minute and a half. No, I would imagine you don't want to drink more than one or two, especially if they're the 16-ounce ones. Yeah, I've always liked the Bun coffee maker the best. Though my son has a Keurig, and it does make a good cup of coffee. I still don't understand how that works. The coffee has to come up through that tiny little hole in the top. Yeah, it does make a good cup of coffee. I have a machine. I haven't used it in years because the coffee pot part of it broke, but you can also make your own espressos. Has its own steamer on it, which all that is it's real strong coffee, and then they steam the milk. Yeah, the one I have is my third one. You don't like the Keurig? I know a lot of people swear by them. If I had one, I'd have one of those. I'd have one of those little baskets and use my own coffee because those little pods they sell, man, are crazy, mad, ridiculous. A lot of people do explore fever. My son does. They're very convenient, man. It's quick, and I've had some good coffees out of it. Like I said, they have them own little them pod things that you can fill yourself. I don't know if I'd like to go through filling that pot up each time. So I'd probably have to have 2 or 3 of them so I could fill them and then just go out there and put one in, you know? You had a Keurig and gave it to your daughter? Well, I'm sure she appreciated that. Yeah, I got everything down to a science in the morning. I get up, first thing I do is I empty out the old coffee filter and refill it and put my water in there and then flip the lid. And while it's brewing, I take Luna outside and come back in and feed her because she will not let me enjoy my coffee if I don't feed her. Her husband likes it. Yeah, my son loves his. Like I said, I like my bun. Though I did have a big problem with my bun when I was grinding my own coffee because if you ground it too fine, then it would pour out the top because it wasn't filtering the water quick enough. And then if you didn't grind it enough, then you got this cheap, or not cheap, but really light coffee. You bought your grandfather Keurig, and you'd rather use the other coffee machine. And I like mine. I like mine all made at once, and a bun does it very quickly and real hot. Yeah. Oh, I know Luna. Luna won't let me rest in the morning. She'll sit and if I start to have a cup of coffee, unless without taking care of her first, she'll sit and she'll stare at me. She pouts. But animals expect that. They depend on us, so I don't have a problem with that. The plus side to that is uh, in the morning and pretty much throughout the whole day, Luna's got to be right up my butt. So I get I get about 5 minutes of alone time with my cup of coffee before she comes in and gets on my lap. Buns do make good coffee. Bun machines. Yeah, I don't like it after if it sits in the pot for too many hours. Then it's got too much of a like a burnt taste. Yeah, most restaurants use bun machines. And theirs are a lot faster. They got them baskets that are about twice the size. Yeah, it does burn the coffee. With a bun machine there, yeah, I think it's a lot hotter than other coffee machine, the heating plate. And yeah, it tastes bad. Kind of, I don't know, the smell of it kind of reminds me of a lead pencil. Some people like coffee like that. Oh, wouldn't fit under your countertop? No, they are pretty tall. I think they do make one now that attaches right to the countertop. Not the countertop, but a cupboard. Oh yeah, when it sits too long and it gets that burnt smell, I think what happens is it burns off a lot of the oils. Someone was telling me, and uh, the more I think about it, the more I think it's true, is that they use the plastic and metal screen filter because the paper filters can take a lot of the oil out of the coffee, which makes sense. But I think I tried one of those metal screen filters in the bun once, and it didn't filter the coffee quick enough. Trey's Creations, good evening. Everybody say hello to Trey's Creations. Hope you're having a great evening. We're getting all kinds of snow here. Everybody's saying hello to Trey. That's a good thing. Man, I keep on getting notifications when I don't want them. Yes, Trey saying hello to everyone. Kitty Monty, good evening and hello. Everybody say hello to Kitty Monty. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Explore Fever says hi, Kitty. Rosanna says hello, Kitty. Steve Tess says hi, Kitty Monty. Yes, get acquainted with each other. Washing dinner dishes? Yes, I am, Ability Mom. I'm going to my daughter-in-law's uncle's house. They have everybody on her side come over there, and that way I get to visit with my son and my two granddaughters. My other son in Portland, Maine, he's going to have Thanksgiving down there, but we're all going to get together at Christmas time. Gary L saying hello, Trey's Creations, and hi, Kitty Monty. I do love Thanksgiving. And every 4 years, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving. Not this year, but next year. Yeah, they'll have some good food. In fact, hi, Senja. Good evening and welcome. Everybody say hello to Senja. Thank you for hitting the like. Appreciate that. Well, thank you for listening, Kitty. Appreciate it. Oh, good morning, Senja. That's right. What kind of morning you having there? Yeah, I just remembered I have a potato and some chicken breast in the refrigerator because I went to my son's house last night and his wife had bought a turkey and it was 29 cents a pound. So she got a whole turkey for like $7. It was ridiculous. Oh, the rainy season started? Yeah, I am. I'm going to be 36 years old backwards. I like your sense of humor, Leah. Jen just said, hello, Explore Fever. How are you? Explore Fever said, great. Thank you, Senja. Yeah, I don't think I would mind the rain at all in a tropical climate. Gary said, "Hey, Kitty Monty, nice channel." Senja says, "Hello, hello" to Rosanna. Yes, rain is a lot better than snow. It is snowing like crazy here, on and off. But, like I said, that changes. It was supposed to be for 3 days, and they changed it to one. And next week they're saying uh, 4 days, but I'm sure that will come down a little bit. I mean, what can you do about it? It's going to do it whether you like it or not. Yeah, I agree with the ability, Mom. You can go to the beach if it's raining. We get a lot of people that come here to Maine to a place called Old Orchard Beach, and it's funny because there's thousands of people there, and there's only a couple people in the water because the water does not get warm here. You have to go a lot further south for there to be any warm water. You're listening while you're preparing your breakfast? That's cool. What are you having? Yeah, I was having a hard time thinking about what I was going to have for dinner. I was thinking eggs, but now that I remembered I got that turkey in there, I think I might make me a Thanksgiving sandwich because I do have turkey, potato, and dressing and cranberry sauce. Every Christmas after I put dinner in the oven, we would go down to Old Orchard Beach to walk the dogs. Yeah, Old Orchard Beach is a beautiful place, and you don't have to worry about anybody else being there in the wintertime. You're having dragon fruit? Never even heard of it. Today breakfast at home, huh? You did get some nice breakfast at them hotels. Yeah, the beach is, it's cold, but it sure is beautiful. Old Orchard Beach, I mean, there people move out of town in the wintertime. Sure is booming in the summer. You know that. You love dragon fruit, but never find it here. Yeah, I've never heard of it. They might have a store in Portland or Augusta that would have it. One of the bigger stores. I know my neighbor. She goes to Hannaford to buy her seasonings and stuff because Walmart doesn't have the stuff that she wants. Tell you, the lady makes a fried chicken that when she makes it, the colonel rolls over in his grave. She uses like oh, 3 different jars of the seasoning sauce, which is unbelievable. Sports Fever says, "I love your video, Senja." Yeah, she does have some great videos. What a beautiful country. all those waterfalls and stuff, and make you want to sit right down in that water, enjoy a ice cold beer or a glass of wine. Hell yeah. They do have some beautiful places here in Maine to see, which I'm going to have to go out and film more of them. A lot of beautiful places to film here in the wintertime too, but very cold. Oh, Hannaford there in New Hampshire has dragon fruit. Now, what is dragon fruit? Is it really sweet? What kind of taste does it have? Yeah, New Hampshire just right next door. Well, you can always move back, Rosanna. I still am thinking I want to get the heck away from it though in the wintertime. Wintertime is just so it's work all the time. Always digging yourself out of the snow. Yeah, it would be hard. It's hard for me. Tell you that much. You wake up in the morning, you go open the you open up the outside door and the snow is packed about 3 foot high on the door. You have dragon feet but no dragon fruit. What's it now? What's dragon feet? Yeah, I can imagine it's just as bad there in New Hampshire. I can understand that, Rosanna. I have a daughter that lives in Florida with four of my grandchildren. You walk heavy sometimes? Yeah. Oh yeah, New Hampshire. I've been through there in the wintertime. Just like Maine, a lot of hills and valleys. And we're supposed to Farmer's Almanac saying one of the worst winters in history in Maine this year. And like it or not, Farmer's Almanac with their guesses, which they go by how the climate's been in the past, they're a lot more accurate than the weather forecasters. And I don't like the fact that you got to be thinking about staying warm all the time. And then you got to think about buying fuel. Sure ability, mom, rub it in. Do you get much snow there in Delaware? Delaware's a nice little state, a little party state. I was there in my early 20s. Worked at the good old Georgia Pacific. Don't usually get snow there. Yeah, last year was really bad. Like I said, 2 weeks at minus 60 below zero. I mean, there was a lot of schools that closed down because their water in the schools broke. You know, they build and try to make things to last and to be able to make it through things, and then Mother Nature just kind of turns the rules all around, turns things right upside down. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it being worse than last year. Yeah, water pipes bursting in the wintertime are awful. They had to, mine didn't burst, but they froze down in the cellar. It's because one of the windows was uh, open. The insulation was to one side. So they had to go down there and make sure everything was closed up really good, and then stuck these electric heaters down there because one of those propane ones I would have been gassed out until the water come loose. That's nothing. One of the people 2 year, not this past winter, but the one before, one of the tenants decided that she was going to go visit people in New York, and when she left, that it would be nice if she turned the heat down. Well, she did, and the pipes on both of the apartments out front froze and burst in the ceiling and shot water all through the walls and all over the floors, and they had to do both apartments over again, walls and floors. So they weren't too happy about that. I'm kind of thinking it might have been done out of spite, other than I'll be nice, because come on, how many people turn the heat off in an apartment in the wintertime? I was ability mom. I was in my kitchen, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm hearing water running, and I go out front and look in the window, and there's ceiling tiles laying on the floor, and you could hear the water running in there. But they needed to fix them up anyways. They got them all up to code and rented them out to for Section 8. My side of the building is really old. It's got the old aluminum windows that they put on houses before I was born. So that tells you what ability they're at least 36 years old, right? Thank you, Explore Fever. I'm gonna I'm gonna be grouchy walking to the store though. Stephen says Tess says don't forget to give a thumbs up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, you see, well, you started it with the 36 years old, you know. Though I know I look 63, and that's all right. And I've seen some things in my 63 years that you wouldn't believe. I do drive, Roseanne. I just don't have a car. I didn't plan my retirement very well. You're older than me. One of my granddaughters tells me all the time, you know, she'll put her hands on my cheek and she'll say, well, "That's because you're so old." She's a character. Well, both of them are. They both just had their first conference with the teachers, and they're both doing exceptionally well. Of course, their mom is a math and science teacher. Well, Kitty, Monty, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful night with your family, and bless you. Thank you, Kitty Monty. Yes, my 7-year-old granddaughter already does algebra, and she tells me that she thinks it's stupid. I will have some fun with them on Thanksgiving Day. What's that they say from the mouths of babes? Oh, they are, Rosanna. They are so much fun, and you can see with both of them, you can see mom and dad both in them. They're I mean, their mom, she's gonna end up with a master's in education. She's already went to college for like 6 years, and gonna end up being a principal. And you can see her and them by how smart they are. Then again, they have the same fiery, I ain't gonna take any crap stuff like my son has. No Man Left Behind Gaming. Good evening and welcome. Everybody say hello. I hope you're doing well, my friend. You know, I know a man's got to work. Yeah, ability mom. I hope everything's is okay with Stephanie. Did you catch any bad guys or bad girls today, Mike? I hope so. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Rosanna. What comes around goes around, but children are a beautiful thing. You didn't catch any bad ones today? Well, I guess lucky for them. Rosanna is saying hello, Mike. Ooh, that pickle juice give me the gas. Oh, I hope everything's okay with her ability, Mom. Because I chatted with her about a half hour before I come on. She said she was going to come over. And MLB Gaming is saying hi, everyone. Well, maybe Leah that she got a chance to go out to dinner. I know her and Lauren work awful hard. You do. You own your own business. You work all the time. You don't have the luxury of punching a time clock and having regular hours, especially in heating and air conditioning. Businesses, one of them too goes out. They want that fixed, yesterday. And if they call you and you don't want to do it right then they go find somebody else, and then you lose a customer. I know the furnace people here in the wintertime, last year when they had that 60 below zero, they were backed up for like 2 days. That's why a lot of people here in Maine have wood stoves. Yeah, and you can't afford to lose a customer. It's not good business practice. Yes, you have to, when you get the job, you have to take the job. Business is like life, tomorrow is not promised. So you get a job offer today to make some money, you take it. Explore Fever saying hello, Mike. And I agree with you on the dinner part. You got to jump on them opportunities because if you don't, then they don't call you the next time. Mike, if they call you and you say no, who are they going to call then? The dog? No, you're never late for dinner in the army. Heck no. Yeah, I was kidding about the dog. I used to laugh at him. I used to think to myself, he come to my door and first thing I'm going to do is grab him by them golden locks and we're going to go round and round. Well, he does better than you because he had a TV show. You caught her with her tongue hanging out? Yeah. That's oh, your dog. Yeah, you have a nice dog. A trained dog like that is wonderful to have. I didn't know you were talking about your dog. That's funny. That's, dogs want to do that. They want to please you and they want to work. They want to do what they were trained to do and they don't argue about it. My favorite candy. Oh my God. Well, I can say what it used to be. My favorite, well, candy bar was a Payday. which now, unless I put it in a blender, I don't eat one of them. But oh, right now, I don't know. I'm not really that much into hard candy. I do like saltwater taffy. Yes, you can see him on his channel. Oh, those are really good. Those are really good, Ability Mom. Okay, now that you mention it, they have another little one that's in a little cube. They call them ice cubes. Yeah, paydays are wonderful. Oh, that's your favorite candy is your wife? Well, there you go. I hope it always stays that way. I do like them. I do like them cherry or chocolate covered cherries. Those are good. And I like those Cadbury eggs. Those are good. She's all the sweets you need. Well, good. Bless her heart. Yeah, well, Explorer Fever. See, I do buy those. Again, like I said before, I'm into the Nestle's Quick, and that goes really good with the Reese's. I used to like to have a payday though with a nice glass of chocolate milk or a bag of Planters peanuts. Rosanna said that's sweet. And it is. It's you know what? It's a good thing to love your spouse. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, pies. Oh gosh. I'd have to say my favorite, and I've made it homemade before, is lemon meringue. Yeah, I love chocolate too. Alexander Smith, good evening and welcome. Everybody say hello to Alexander. Yeah, I know you were, Mike. Glad she's back with you now, though. Oh, I love pumpkin pie too. Here you go, Rosanna. I'm doing good, Alexander, and I hope you are as well. Blueberry pie is good. You know, when they're in season, Maine has some delicious blueberries, which you can find a lot of times in the wild too. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. Alexander saying hello, Rosanna. Explore Fever said hi, Alexander. Rosanna said Alexander hello. You're not a big fan of blueberries? I like a I like a blueberry milkshake, but with pretty much any fruit other than bananas. I like it with sugar. You're gonna live stream in a little bit? Cool. Tony Schaus, good evening and welcome. Everybody say hello to Tony. Captain Awesome, good evening and welcome. Happy early Thanksgiving to you too. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing a live stream on Thursday because after I go to an in-law's house and have dinner, I'm going to be going over and watching my granddaughters so my daughter-in-law can go out and do Black Friday shopping that starts at midnight. Mike saying hi, Tony. Ability Mom saying hi, Tony. You lost your uncle. I'm sorry to hear that. Turkey, Ability Mom. And I will be going up and checking out Walmart on Friday because they're going to have all kinds of turkeys on sale. And I've had ham before on Thanksgiving. Ham's a wonderful thing. Though. I don't eat pork anymore. I do miss sausage though. Yeah, sorry to hear you lost your uncle, Tony. That sucks. It's always hard to lose somebody you care about. Wipe on a Budget, good evening and welcome. Everybody say hello to Wipe on a Budget. I hope you're having a great evening. You gave up a lot of fatty foods recently. Yeah, I gave up watching people on YouTube with pet pigs, and they are the cutest little things, and they're very intelligent. Alexander saying hello, wife, and hello, Captain. Everybody say hello to each other. Ability Mom saying hi, wife on a budget. Wife on a budget says hi, Alexander. Krista Pham, good evening and welcome. Everybody say hello to Krista Pham. Captain Awesome said, hey, everybody. Explore Fever says hello, wife. Ability Mom says, hey, Alexander. Tony says, hey, Chris. Right, everybody get acquainted. Now, Luna is right there. Huh, my Luna Garo. She ain't moving. She's out. She knows in a little bit here we're gonna be going back outside again. Alexander saying hello, everybody. Tess said, hey, Luna. Tony wants to know how you're doing tonight, Chris. Chris is saying hi, Explore Fever. I do hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. Hope everybody gets to spend time with their family and loved ones on Thanksgiving. Yeah, she don't go too far from me, Alexander. But she does like to sleep a lot. Yeah, Luna's probably 75, 80 pounds. She's big for a girl boxer. I think 75, 80 pounds. She is big for a female boxer. And when I take her out for a walk, I need to make sure I got a good grip on her leash. She's right there, Explorer Fever. Luna girl. Hey. There she is. There's that girl. Oh, there's that girl. She's such a sweetheart. Boxers. Yours is 50 pounds? Billy Mom, thank you so much for coming. You have a blessed night as well. Sure do appreciate you coming here. Oh, excuse me. I hope I'm not getting a cold from this weather. It's everybody saying goodbye, Leah. Again, I hope you have a blessed night as well. Hug the family. Oh, I got that itchiness. Thank you. I will. I may just walk to my neighbor's house and see if I can get a lighter from him. Let me make sure that I wrote that right. Oh, I think I left something out of that email. Sorry, Rosanna. Yeah, try that. I think I left out the 94 on the last time I gave that to you. Luna, you want an animal cracker? Do you? Come on. Come on. There you go. You want that? You want that? Oh, yeah. Oh, she says, I love my animal crackers. Tracy's Halls, you work on Thanksgiving? Yeah, that sucks. When I was well, for a lot of years being a mental health worker, working in group homes, I worked on Thanksgiving. You know, I think a lot more places should close their doors on Thanksgiving, but they don't. Nuna, wipe on a bug. Yours was. with the snow. I know it makes you wonder if sometimes if they don't stick their tongue out purposely. Luna, there's no more over there, darling. You got them all. Come here. Come here or go up there and lay down. What? What? Where's your ball? Get your ball. Get your ball. Get it. Well, go get it. Or get Elmo. There you go. I will check that out, Rosanna. Yeah. Yeah, I think I will remove that. Thank you for reminding me. Don't need any of that. Some people go on YouTube and that's how they survive, just to go out and give someone else a hard time. Such a sad life. Rosanna said, hello, Tracy. You got snow tires on today? That's a good thing. My son finally put some on the front of his car. I was really happy about that. You wanna have snow tires on your you definitely have to have snow tires in Maine, but it's also good to get studded when you when they get black ice. Tracy Shaw says hi, Rosanna. Wipe on a budget said hi, Rosanna. Your oldest daughter's name's Tracy. Cool. Yeah, they do. They do spoil it for people. I try not to let it get to me too much, though, Alexander. You know, the more you feed into it, the more you get it back. I've seen people that have said something to get them against a troll, and the next thing you know, they got 120 thumbs down on their live stream or their videos. Because you can have 100 and some accounts on YouTube. I mean, if you're unfortunately if you're looking to get monetized, someone with 100 and some accounts and giving you a thumbs down can make it hard for your channel to be able to get monetized because advertisers don't want to put their advertisements, and they need to do something about that. No, sometimes you don't know. You know, I I've had some in the past. Usually I get the ones that like to say nasty things, or call me a Nazi or come in and say racial things, and I don't feed into it a whole lot. Myself or the mods take the comment out and block them, and that's the end of it. I mean, I think a lot of times I think it's pretty sad. So I spend a lot of time during the day and at night on YouTube, and I can tell you, I don't go watch anybody that I don't like. Never. That is so much a waste of my energy and time. I can be watching somebody that I do like watching. Yeah, yeah, we don't know them. No, they don't get snow tires where you live in North Carolina? No. What part of North Carolina are you at, Tracy? I was stationed at Fort Bragg. Yeah, yeah. I mean, mine's not that bad because I don't get 30 or 40 people in my chat at one time. But you get that many people around 25, and it can be really hard monitoring everything that's said. It is good to have mods that will take them comments out. Good evening, Susan Baker, and welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Everybody say hello to Susan Baker. Yeah, I don't understand a lot of people because you know what? I'll be the first to admit I'm not a perfect person. So the old saying when I was younger was people that live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And if I'm gonna go out there and pick on somebody else, I better have a perfect life. Otherwise, I need to shut my mouth. No, we're none of us are perfect. And we need to remember that. If you're coming on YouTube just to be rotten with somebody, that's really trivial and sad. Trace Creations, thank you so much for coming. I hope you have a great evening and bless you. Nobody has a perfect life. And you know what? If people spent more time taking care of their own business, they wouldn't have time to be mean to other people. I mean, if you think about it, if you're coming on YouTube just to be rotten with somebody, what kind of life do you have to begin with? Not much of one. I'd rather come on YouTube and have something to say nice about people, just for the fact that there's a lot of people that are rotten. Yeah, Alexander, you want to say something about me. I got broad shoulders. I can take that, but you don't come on and say racial things. You don't say nasty thing to the women or anybody. You want to do that on your own channel. And it's good to have people that'll take that right out. Good evening, Cody Hodges, and welcome. And Luna and I are having a great day, and I hope you are as well. Everybody say hello to Cody. I was in the Army with the 82nd Airborne, Susan. April Fool's Day, 1975 to March 31st, 78. You live in Greensboro? Cool. I really enjoyed it in North Carolina. Beautiful weather. Rosanna said, hello, Cody. Suzanne says, hello, Cody. And Wife on a Budget says, hello, Cody. 77 to 86. Yeah, well, we were really close to the Air Force. They had Fort Pope right next to us there. That's what we jumped out of. Steven says, Tess says, hi, Cody. Rosanna says, hello, Susan. Thank you, husband for serving, Susan. Means a lot. It's not just the the person serving. It's the wife and the kids and the mom and the dad and the brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles. Everybody feels that, especially if something happens to them. Cody's saying hello to everyone. Everybody say, please say hello to Cody. And and you're very welcome, Susan. Oh, I agree with you. I know you weren't being disrespectful, Alexander, and I agree with you there. I let people say, everybody has the right to their opinion, but if you want to be nasty to people, hell, do that on your own channel. I hate the drama. I mean, it's all negative energy. Stuff like that can make you sick, and it is the whole family, Rosanna. When a soldier's lost, it's the whole family that loses that person and this country. I can tell you when I was in the United States, was at the end of Vietnam. Soldiers were despised. People would avoid me, and I myself at that time, I kind of liked that. And when I went in, I volunteered to go in, and I hope they don't ever. You had family that served in Vietnam. And we'll thank them. I hope they all made it back safe. Yeah, it was. It was a bad time, but nobody ever messed with me. Oh, they're gone now. Well, I appreciate their service. Vietnam was a bad time. Any war is. Ain't never been any war that was a good time. But you know, horrible, terrible things happen during a war. Yes, especially with things people expect. Well, you watch me. This person come on my channel and they were nasty to me. I'm sorry they were nasty to you, but they've they've never been nasty to me. And I'm not going to get into this thing on picking sides with people. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I see you being outright nasty, disrespectful, or making racist comments or being nasty with women, I ain't going to go watch you anyways. Especially if you're going to do it on someone else's channel, thinking that it's okay. No, I don't. I don't get into the disrespect thing. You need to respect everybody until they don't respect you. That's how I deal with life. Suffers from PTSD. I hope he can get the help that he needs, Rosanna. It's PTSD is a hard thing, and a lot of that's to do with people are brought up different now. They're taught different things, and not that anybody was ever prepared for war, but you know it, they don't prepare a lot of soldiers for things now and what they're going to see because the world isn't a nice place. You never make a nasty comment on someone else's channel, and I agree with your wife on a budget. I don't either. Even if there's someone on that channel that I don't like, I'm not going to say something to them there because that's disrespecting that person's channel who you're on. If you got a beef with somebody, do it on your own dime, not someone else's. Exactly. Everybody should be treated with respect. But you know what? I grew up in a different era where it was okay to open the door for a lady, and nobody thought anything of it, and you respected it, everybody. And if you didn't, then you most likely got a good ass whooping. But you stood up and shook hands afterwards and said you were sorry, and that was the end of it. Now people get behind a keyboard, and I've seen them go after people's kids and after their dogs and call DHS and call the police. I mean, it gets way too much out of hand. He had a stroke, 40 years old, and he's 48 and still suffers. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, Rosanna. It's why if you got family and loved ones, you need to give them a hug and tell them you love them every day because you never know. No, you know, unfortunately, wife on a budget, most men don't know how to act like men anymore. A lot of men get behind a keyboard and huff and puff and pound their chest. You suffer from PTSD, but for a different reason. We all do. We desensitize everything. It's and darn, would I like the world to be a better place? Yes, I would, but it's not. We talk the talk, but we don't walk the walk because people are still people when it comes down to it. And there's a lot of mean, nasty people out there. It's right. And that's not a bad thing, Alexander. Teaching kids to respect other people is a good thing. I mean that there's a lot of ways that a lot of things I don't agree with, like you get a trophy for showing up. I mean, give me a break. We take away from the fact that you should strive to win at what you're doing. There's not a It's not a bad thing to come in second place, you know, because the next time you're going to work harder so you come in first place. Well, that sucks, Susanna. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh no. I'm about ready to panic. Yes, there's a lot of people that think that they're entitled, that the world owes them something. And my kids to this day, they know my younger son is doing the same work that I did for 21 years. He's a mental health worker. And he knows that you want to make that money, you got to get up and you got to go to work. And if you don't feel good today or somebody said something to hurt your little itty bitties, you just go on with your day anyways and pull up your bootstraps and that's it. Use a toaster. That's a good idea, wife on a budget. I was thinking I was gonna uh, use a candle, but a toaster would work much better. I'm still thinking though. I need to check with my neighbor and see if he might have an extra lighter. Oh, Luna's favorite ball. Want it? Do you want it? Come here. Come here. What? 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 Good girl. Yeah, that should never happen to any child, Susan. What's really unfortunate is that a lot of things that we do in society kind of sets things up for that. Good evening, LeBain. Thank you so much for coming, and you don't need to apologize. I know how busy you are. Okay, Susan, thank you so much for showing up. Hope you have a blessed evening. Hugs for you too, Stephanie. Yeah, they they tell you can't discipline your child or that's child abuse. And you know what? We set our we set our kids up. We don't teach them anything about how the world really is. We teach them about how we would like the world to be. And you can't, you know, they go out into the world not knowing at all on how things are. Hey, that's okay, LeBain. Don't you worry about it. Like I said, I know how busy you are. Everybody say hello to LeBain. I hope you and Lauren are having a great evening, Stephanie. Big hugs for you. Yes, everybody get acquainted with LeBain if you're not yet. Stephanie's such a sweetheart. Love you too, Stephanie. You and Lauren are nice people. Sure glad I met you. It's exactly true, Tracy. There's too many people that don't want to get off their butts and go out there and actually work. They expect it's going to be handed to them. You know, my youngest son's got a 4-year college degree, and Maine has some of the best schools out there, but they don't have work for people that have degrees because Maine, unfortunately, is one of those states that the taxes are so bad that uh, a lot of the businesses have left. Talking about your neighbor, Junkyard. Good evening, Junkyard. Welcome. Everybody say hello to Junkyard. You know what? We, I don't think we really think about the signals that we send to our children. Don't go out there and do your best because we're going to reward you anyways. To me, that's crap. Yeah, they think. Well, I think every teenager thinks they know everything. But when I was a preteen and a teen, there was you know actions when I screwed up. I was held accountable for what I did. Junkyard says hello, somebody else's wife. That's right, I did mine too. There's nothing wrong with disciplining your children. Good evening, Colorado Martini, and welcome, Denise. Thank you for coming. Everybody say hello to Colorado Martini. Junkyard saying hi to wife on a budget. Bane says hugs, Rosanna. Bane saying hi, Colorado Martini. Cody, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it. Oh, you know what? I think I'm getting a cold. Oh yeah, Luna's playing with her ball. Luna, come here. Come here. Come here. You want one? Come here. Come here. Come here. Not everybody's seen you. Come here. Oh gosh. Animal crackers. I'll give you two if you come up here. Yeah. All right. Come here. Oh yeah. She says animal crackers. There you go. Oh, so much for that. Alexander's saying, Bane, I disciplined mine. Got to end up in the court. No, I can't get contact by that sucks, Alexander. I know it's gotten to the point where they don't want you to give your kids any direction, but when they grow up, they want to blame you because you didn't parent them right. I mean, let people be a parent or do it yourself. 420 Latina J, how you doing? And welcome. Everybody say hello to 420 Latina J. No, nowadays junkyard, a butt whooping is something that's considered abuse. Exactly right, Stephanie. There is a difference between abuse and discipline. That's right across the board. They do the same thing now in the military. Some of the branches, if you're having a bad day, you hold up a card and tell them you're having a bad day, and they have to leave you alone. Come here, Luna. Come here. Come here. Come on. Gotta come up here. Sit. Oh gosh, you're so pretty. You're gonna have a kiss. Oh, thank you. You're so beautiful. Have I told you lately that I love you? I do. You're so sweet. Go ahead. Yeah, you can't spank a child anymore, but there is a difference. There is a difference between abusing somebody and teaching them the right and the wrong ways to act. Because if you're not taught, then you grow up to do whatever you want. And we don't live in a society like that. And I can tell you, working working in the state of Maine as a mental health worker, we went from helping people to housing people. Because if you have a mental illness, which is right straight across the board, whether it be ADD as a child or PTSD or whatever, you are not responsible for your actions. So, in other words, you do whatever you want. And society doesn't work that way. If you teach, get me your ball. What are you telling me? What? Really? What else? Oh, well, gosh. Did y'all hear that? Discipline is necessary for 420 Latina J. It is very necessary. You, we as human beings need to be taught what's right or wrong because we're the most. I mean, if we're the smartest creature on earth and the worst. I mean, we do the worst things to each other, and we have to have that direction. Whether it's a hand on the butt or a timeout or whatever. Now, I'll tell you, this started a long time ago because my youngest son, who's 31 now, come home one day and looked at me and said that my teacher told me that if you send me to bed without dinner, that's child abuse. And I looked at him and said, well, tomorrow morning you're going to go to school with my foot up your ass. Ask your teacher what that is. That was never brought up again. You got to do whatever you need to do to make your child listen because otherwise they're going to grow up and end up in a prison system that. What, Luna? What? Come here. Come here. Do you want another one? Oh, I know you love these. You're going to be just one great big huge fat animal cracker here after a while. Luna the animal cracker. You got to come here. You got to come here and be nice if you want this. Come here. Hey, come here. No. Can you tell me you want it? Can you tell me? Well, tell me. Tell me. Tell me nice. What? What do you got to say? What? Tell me. Oh, well, there you go. Oh, gosh. So good, huh? You're such a sweet girl. That's sad to hear, Alexander. What did you tell her, LeBain? It is a lot different now, Tracy. They don't, I remember not so much when I went through basic training. That was, it was like a camp where you had to work out. But when I went through jump school, you didn't do the right thing. Somebody was jumping down your throat, or they slapped you upside your head. But it taught you something. Sometimes there can be a very fine line, but they the the things nowadays it drives me crazy. Like my granddaughter getting pushed down to the ground, and she got up and smacked this other kid in the face, and she got punished, and the other kid didn't. Because I guess it's okay to assault somebody, but it's not okay to get up and defend yourself. I don't have any more. Oh, what? You think kissing me is going to get you favors. That just got me. That got me wicked slobbery. I love you. You know that was probably a good lesson, Stephanie. You know, it's a hard lesson when you grow up and you think you know everything, and then you go out there and find out you didn't really know shit. I was out on the streets at 16 years old for whatever reason in Wisconsin. You you learn how to survive when that happens, but you can avoid a lot of it if you just kind of listen to the people that care about you. And Tracy, thank your son for serving, man. Oh, it's my Luna girl. Licking toes and being burned. Yeah, yeah. I could tell you some stories, LeBain, about my childhood, but that would have to be in private. Things shouldn't happen to people, period, let alone children. Yeah. Oh well, kids will do that, wipe on a budget. They go to school nowadays and they tell the teacher that, and the teacher's going to be calling the state, and they're going to be coming and showing up at your house for child abuse. Yeah, and kids need to be taught that you didn't you're not living this way because of whatever reason. It's because mom and dad worked hard. I found out real quick, but I had my own apartment at 17 years old. He taught you a lot, even though he was an alcoholic. That can be really hard. But yeah, I didn't hide a whole lot from my kids as they were growing up, because you can't. If you want them prepared for the world, they got to know what's out there. Lauren was 16 as well. That's an awful young age to have to learn how the world really is. What, Luna? What? Talk to me. No, that's not talking. That's sassing. Really? What else? My goodness. My goodness. You had your place at 17 as well? You did good at 17? That's great. And yeah, 16 is very young. People take advantage of you working wise when you're 16. Really? Oh my goodness. Get me your ball. No, get your ball. Bring it here. Yeah, she is, Steve. I think she may. Sure, her bladder's a lot smaller than mine. You're only recently diagnosed with that you're borderline and learning difficulties, and you're not at your rightful age. Well, I hope you can get through that, Alexander. Just keep pushing on. Do the best you can do. That's all we can ever do. You got married to a non-working druggie at 15 years old. Oh, that and beaten on a regular basis. That sucks. I live. Uh, my two youngest sons, their mother was an abusive drinker. She went from being a Barbie 2 year beers later to being the Wicked Witch. And it's hard. Well, it's hard to take abuse from somebody that you care about. If you hadn't met him, you didn't know how you would have survived. Well, I'm glad you met each other, Lebain. I really am. It was meant to happen. Look, you're still together. You would have beaten his ass. I don't. I think that anybody that abuses another human being just because they can, they got something coming to them, especially when it comes to children. I'd like to, that was really hard for me being a mental health worker because we only got the people that no other agency wanted, and it was all the rapists and child molesters. And I had to leave my personal feelings at the door when I went to work. He's the best thing that ever happened to you. Well, Lauren's a good man, Lebain. Nate Johnson, how you doing, Nate Benson? Everybody say hello to Nate. I hope you're having a great evening and welcome. Your father married a woman with 4 kids, had one together. I was always the outsider. Yeah. Well, I was raised by an aunt and uncle. I'm glad you're okay, Nate. I hope you're wonderful. Lebain, Nate's the one that started that Benson stuff. Her and Colleen, I think. But we're all called Bensons. I am Grandpa Benson. Lebain saying, Roseanne, I think a lot of us, older generation, went through some crap because no one got in anyone's business like they do today. Yeah, that's probably very true. But today, like everything else, oh really? Like everything else we do as a human being, we overdo it. We always overdo it. We take it to extremes. 'Cause I could tell you, it's one thing I never hit my ex No, damage can't be fixed a lot of times. Well, I'm getting hell from my girl here. Anyways, guys, I've been on here almost for 3 hours, and my Luna girl is wanting to go out. They do a little bit too much now. Yep, they do. They judge discipline as abuse, and it's not. We all need to. Yeah, Luna needs to be a good girl. Did I start early? I started at 6 o'clock, and it's quarter to 9. I will check my email, Rosanna, and thank you. I always like doggy pictures. Yeah, I am gonna call it a night, guys, because I think Luna's getting ready to do her business. Well, yeah, it's an hour's different there. It's different time zone up here in Maine, Stephanie. Yes, good night, Steve. And yeah, 10:15 there. Yes, I am an hour ahead. Yes, I'm going to say good night, everybody, and hope every. Yes, Luna. Just a second. You're being very rude. All right. Everybody have a great night, and bless you all, and love you very much. Okay. Bye.